Hello, my name is Sam New, and today this is my video on engaging with the social dilemma for MIDA 2010. I watched this again. The first time I watched it was last year in the fall when taking social media. Can't remember if it was social media campaigns or social media production. But I don't think I really truly understood the effects of social media before I got in those classes, and especially since I watched The Social Dilemma. I've been using social media for years. I was definitely like behind on the trends for people in my generation. I didn't have a phone till later. I didn't start really using Instagram or Facebook or anything for social media until I was like 2019. However, I've been using the internet a long time. And one thing that really struck me with engaging the social dilemma was the use of data privacy and like creating these profiles for people to personalize things for them, especially advertisements. And that stuck in my mind, especially when doing social media campaigns, on how adverts happen through social media and how stupidly effective those things are. And I don't think people realize the intricacies or like the way those advertisements on social media really work, how online advertisements work with bidding and personalization, how these companies, although not allowed to sell your data, use those profiles instead of selling the data. They create ad space for companies who are wanting to market towards a specific demographic that would be interested in their product. And social media uses the data that they collect from you through your interaction on the internet. And the way they collect it, I'm going to be going over today through cookies and other web tracking to kind of sell those advertisement spots. So that's kind of a loophole somewhat on like they're not selling your data directly, but they're selling you as a product to advertisers using the data they collect from you on their websites, and they are within the rights to collect that data as you are using their product, like Facebook or Instagram. So after looking into this, I want to really take a step further and go deeper into this idea of personalized or like advertisements on social media. And so I found two articles that were really interesting. The first one I want to go over was the article is called Privacy Signals, exploring the relationship between cookies and online purchase intention. And these articles I thought were very interesting because the social dilemma is definitely very biased in like its viewpoints, and you kind of definitely know like the point it's trying to get across is very kind of personalized in that way, where these articles are very data heavy and are not like their perspective on it. It's very like, okay, here's the results. And so for the first one, it kind of goes over purchase intention and kind of the way that users interact with these websites, and then accepting the use of cookies to track that data and how that affects their purchases online. So after some studies, and the conclusion that came from that was that this use of like online web trafficking and tracking it show important quote the results show that it is important to provide users with a clear and accurate information about data use and how they can opt out of mailing lists if they wish. I'm gonna cut that part. To come back to that, quote, from a theoretical point of view, we contribute to signaling theory through 4 studies that show the positive effects of accepting cookies as a privacy and security signal on consumer purchase intention. that kind of goes over the positive effects on accepting those cookies and how purchase intention is kind of like affected. Here we go. The main thing I got out of this was in the conclusion where, quote, furthermore, the results add findings to show that the consumer's need for the product is important for cookie acceptance as well as for increasing purchase intention. Kind of showing that the intent to purchase something, because it is accepted through cookies and tracked through that, there's signs that it is increased. However, the article goes on to saying the importance of the knowledge of these cookies and using that, that it's important to provide users with clear and accurate information about data use and how they can opt out of things such as mailing lists, showing that although this is effective in kind of like helping consumers find what they're looking for, it's also important to let them know and keep them in the loop that collecting this data to provide improved user experience is important. And that was the biggest thing for me is I don't think the majority of people who use these apps kind of realize how much of their information is really being used to sell them, especially like to the point of web trafficking where like websites will track where you're interacting on their app, on their website, to help kind of increase this user experience for these advertisements. This goes a step further with the next article with investigating the impact of Facebook advertising features on consumer behavior. So this kind of goes into a more specific understanding. This was a study done for citizens of Vietnam, ages 20 to 30, on Facebook, and how advertisements on social media kind of have affected purchases and advertising in Vietnam and on social media. One of the quotes in the conclusion say, as a result, a strong emphasis on existing relationships has contributed to enriching and adding value to limited literature on social media promotion in general and Facebook advertising in particular. This is in reference to informativeness, performance, expectancy, perceived relevance, and interactive play as a role for motivating developed users' further purchase intention. Again, it goes with purchase intention and the fact that these purchases are arguably more well-informed. People are buying things which they are more interested in because of social media's use of their data, but also this one really goes into interactive play. And some things when it comes to interactive play is stuff like comments and sharing on advertisements and being able to do direct consumer to business contacting through things like social media. So if a advertisement is posted, let's just say you're scrolling through TikTok and there's a TikTok ad, you can interact with that advertisement, and you can also interact with the business that posted that advertisement, giving more, one-on-one. And on top of that, that advertisement was shown to you because of your interactions on TikTok. So both these articles kind of reinforce the fact that your interaction is fueling these ads instead of like a traditional TV ad, which is just a guess based on the channel you're on, what you're watching. This is interactive to the T, using your personal data and usage of the app to sell to you. There are a lot of positives with that. Almost all of these articles kind of highlight the positives and kind of warn against some of the negatives with it, like with the first article on letting people know, especially with like mail orders or email advertisements being an annoyance to customers, especially when they don't know or didn't sign up for it or unwillingly signed up for it. But overall, these advertisements are much more effective. They show increase of user interaction and user their outcome being more positive because of how they found the product. Although I think that there's a lot of positives to it, I also believe that, just like the first article said, that users need to be more aware. And when they are aware, they're more happy about it. And I think advertisers are kind of leaning more on the fact that people don't really know. I think people are starting to catch on as digital literacy becomes a bigger and bigger thing, as more people are using the internet and social media is up for longer. People are like realizing the personalized ads and everything like that. And with legislation coming out requiring more like openness when it comes to like how data is used, especially in California, overall, I think that although the social dilemma perceives as negative, it's mainly negative, I definitely see it as, especially when it's unknown, as a negative thing. But I think there's give and take for both. I think that having personalized ads through consumer behavior, and through, online purchase intention kind of creates, I don't know, it creates more interaction and creates more personalization for the user, which is oftentimes why people use, the internet. So that's my thoughts on that topic, on the social dilemma, on personal data, on web tracking and cookies, and how it applies to advertising to people on social media. Thank you so much, and have a good one.